Back to Six String Studies. Today we are going to play 2, maybe 3 chords at once, and we're going to learn how to transition from one to the other and to where it transitions smoothly. We've learned 5 open chords so far: C, A, G, E, D. And what we're going to do is take the A chord and the E chord, and then also later in the video we'll do the D chord. And this is just to help you out with transitioning, because you don't want to be choppy with, going from one chord to the other, unless that's your intention. So first thing, we want to learn a couple of basics on notes and time signatures, which if you've ever seen a staff of any kind, you'll usually see a 4/4 that's not a fraction. A lot of people think that's fractions. It's not like, 4 equals a whole. What that means is it's 4, it's a count, and then the type is a quarter. You have 4 counts of fourth notes or quarter notes. And so what that means is if you see the little line with a little black dot, that's a quarter note. And let's just say your metronome is doing this right here, and you've got 4 beats per measure, okay? So if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, if you've got those 4 little black dots with the lines on them, that's 4 quarter notes in a measure. So you would strum 1, 2, 3, 4, and you've completed a measure. If you see the little open hole with the line on it, that's a half note. And what you would do is you would strum, let it ring out for 2 notes. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'd strum, and that's your measure right there. If you've got just the O, there's no little no line on it, that's a whole note, and you just let the note ring out for 4 counts, to complete that measure. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. That's all we're going to do for today as far as that goes. And so we're going to go from A to E, back to A, back to E. And we'll start out with just whole notes, okay? So if we've got a count of 4, so if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to play the A. 1, 2, 3, 4, E. 2, 3, 4, A. 2, 3, 4, E. 2, 3, 4. Now let us sustain for the entire account, okay? Like that, all right? And you want to start out with the whole notes because it gives you 4 beats to transition from A to E. Now, I like to play my A with my index finger out. It helps me get to other chords, but it also helps get to just from A to E quicker. So I've got my 3 fingers squinched on the D, G, and B string on the 2nd fret. And whenever I strum, I'm going to go from A, and then I'm going to put my index finger on the 1st fret of that G string, release my pinky, and then move these 2 fingers up. And it takes a little time, but it becomes one fluid motion where it's really easy to get there. All right, and from that E, I do the opposite. I put these fingers down, tuck my pinky in, and then I lift up my index finger. Now, you can actually keep your index finger here the entire time. Reason being is because wherever your finger is pressed up on the fretboard, whatever happens behind it, it doesn't matter. So let's just say I've got my finger on the 7th fret of the G string. Nothing I do behind that 7th fret makes any difference. Okay? Now if I let that go, of course it does make a difference. Alright? So, if you want to start out, you can make your A chord. Okay? Make your A chord. Go ahead and tuck that index finger on the 1st fret of the G string. Alright, so we're going to play A first, right? It doesn't make a difference. Alright, and then we're going to go from A to E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. All I've done now is move these 2 fingers up and then lifted my pinky. And then I'm going to go back again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right. So now once you've got a little better at that, you want to do whole notes. You let them last for 4 counts. When you get a little better at that, you'll want to go twice that speed. So let them last for 2 counts each time. And now you want to still go the full measure, but you'll strum twice within the measure instead of just once. So you're going to go, these are half notes. 1, 2, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you just get a little smoother with your transitioning of chords each time. And then you'll go to quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Once you've got a little better at that, you can go to what's called eighth notes, 16th notes, and that's just you're basically strumming twice as much. You know, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Or you can go up and down, or down and up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So, you know, you want to push yourself a little bit, but don't, you know, push it to where you're getting frustrated because it's not making sense yet. So A to E and back to A are pretty easy to do. You want to throw in another chord. D goes well with E and A, and if you listen to some songs, you'll realize that there are some songs that have that combination of notes. So we're going to go from A, 1, 2, 3, 4 to E, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for the D, you're going to slide your index finger from that first fret up to the second fret. Put your middle finger on the high E string, second fret, and then put your ring finger on the third fret of that B string. This one takes a little more, it's a little more of a challenge, and it takes a little more practice, but once you get there, you'll be all right. You can actually just go from E to D for now. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. and just keep practicing those over and over again. You'll start to figure out which combination or which finger structure you like more. If you'll notice, I've done my A with the middle, ring, and pinky fingers. I use my E with the middle finger on top. Some people like to do it like this. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I like to do like this. And then for D, I typically put my index finger up top, middle finger at the bottom, and then ring finger here in the middle. Again, some people like to do it with just 2 fingers, like this. To me, it just doesn't make much transitional sense for my fingers. But do however you like it, as long as it becomes a nice, smooth transition. That's what you want to do. This will also build, calluses. So if it starts to hurt, just like I've said before, if it's uncomfortable, keep going. But if you start to feel pain, stop, take a break, use different fingers, try different exercises, things like that. But never harm yourself in trying to play guitar.